I'm here at the Hope and Anchor at Greenbelt Festival. The Hope and Anchor is a space hosted by the Methodist Church. It's a dry bar with free-flowing, meaningful, enriching conversations. Why don't we hear from people who've been coming to the venue this weekend?
One of the things that's so special about Greenbelt, about being here in the Hope and Anchor, is just to meet people, complete strangers really, but find we've got so much common ground.
It's really nice to have a space where people of all generations can just hang out. So I think it kind of models a good vision of how the church should be, sort of comfortable, informal and varied, and letting people share their stories and talk rather than just listening.
I love the fact that it's alcohol free. Much of my work as a therapist is working with addiction, and having a place like this feels very welcoming and open to everyone. And I love the intimacy of it.
Yeah, I literally walked in and the first thing that I did was join a game of Cards Against Mundanity with people I'd not even met yet, which was really fun.
And some really interesting topics of conversation have come up that I wouldn't have thought about discussing otherwise.
Yeah, no, I don't think you'd have a reason to discuss otherwise.
And I found people opening up and being vulnerable, and I've felt really naturally like I wanted to open up and be vulnerable in Tane, and already I've been with strangers and we've shared really important things, conversations that often don't happen enough.
There was a little talk by Sarah Zoltash about her own personal faith journey, and then we split up into groups and discussed our own faith journeys, and it was really good to meet people and hear their experiences, some of which were resonated with my own and some of which were different, and learning from them.
And we're having some secret specials, so some Greenbelt celebrities are popping in. It's been very exciting for tonight.
We didn't actually know that Brian was on this evening. It was an absolute bonus that he was here. And I guess there's something about how he writes and the questions that often people ask when he's talking are the ones that you don't often think that you needed to ask in the first place.
I certainly wouldn't just meet someone in the pub and have these kind of conversations. And also just at home and even in my church, I wouldn't be able to have such open conversations and honesty.
And I think this was a really good space for opening up conversation about faith, about spirituality, with a kind of sense of openness and generosity, and themes of inclusivity as well.
So it feels like a real sanctuary in the heart of Greenbelt where properly important conversations that we don't have enough are occurring.
So you've heard how fantastic it is when people have conversations that are more meaningful and more real than they might otherwise have. You don't need a fancy tent or a fancy card game or speakers on a stage to make that happen. All you need is a space to invite people into, to talk and for conversation. How might you do that in your local community?